A judge called this case one of the worst he's ever seen. In 2018, Ashley Young was murdered by someone she thought was her friend. At the time of her murder, Ashley was just 31 years old and working at a bank. Her mother describes her as full of life, but also says she could be too trusting of people. She had an on and off again friendship with 30-year-old Jared Chance, someone her mom says often mistreated Ashley. One day in late November of 2018, Ashley's mom couldn't get in contact with her daughter and later filed a missing persons report. The next day, police went to Chance's home, but no one answered. The day after that, Chance's neighbor reported a bad smell. That's when police found Ashley's torso in the basement. Her head, hands, and feet have never been found. We sat down with Ashley's mom on Morning Plus. Welcome back. In 2018, 31-year-old Ashley Young was killed in Grand Rapids. In 2019, her murderer was sentenced to 100 to 200 years in prison. And tonight, this brutal murder will be the subject of a true crime show on Investigation Discovery. This morning, we're joined live by Ashley's mom, Christine Young, and her partner, Dana Nelson. Thank you both so much for joining us live this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, first, let's start with Ashley. Please just tell us who she was.
Ashley was a very wonderful, bright, caring, kind young woman who believed everybody was good. She would do anything for anyone. Whether she knew them or not, she would help out. She loved people, even if she didn't know them.
Well, such a horrific story in terms of what happened to Ashley, her murder. And I'm sure no one ever thinks something like this will happen to them. I know it's something you can never prepare for. Talk about how devastating something like this is for a family to go through.
I would never wish this on anyone. You never forget. You wake up and you go to bed thinking about it. When your child is murdered, it is so devastating to her friends, her family.
Even 7 years later, it's just like it just happened today.
I can see that in your emotion. You know, I'm hoping that something we say today can maybe help someone else. One of the scariest parts of this crime is that the perpetrator was someone who claimed to be a friend of Ashley's. Talk about some of the signs that you can maybe give to warn other people about problematic people in your life.
When you have people who truly care about you, they are not going to use you. They're going to lift you up. They will help you as well as you helping them.
I know this is such a difficult conversation for you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're okay. You look for people who are kind and caring, but who are genuine. Don't take everything at face value. Not everyone is going to be your friend. There are going to be people out there who will lie to you, who will steal from you, who will do anything that they can to use or abuse you. There are so many kids, especially young ones, who are on social media who think that, you know, they have all of these friends and they've never met them. Ashley knew the person, or thought she knew the person who did this to her. She did not believe that he would harm her. She thought she could help him. She thought she could pull him out of the drugs and all of that. Sometimes you have to let people go.
Talk
and you
more
have to
about
let
that.
them go.
Can you set the stage for what was going on in Ashley's life at that time? We mentioned that she was 31 years old. I know that she wasn't from the Grand Rapids area. Can you kind of set the stage for, was she working at the time? What was going on in her life? And what was this friendship relationship like? What were you seeing from your vantage point that were some maybe troubling signs of what was happening between them?
Okay, so Ashley lived in Kalamazoo, and she was supposed to get an apartment, and I was going to co-sign for her. And she loved her job. She had a job working at PNC. She was in a call center, and she loved it. She loved the people she worked with. This is somebody that came back into her life after she cut him out because he broke into her apartment. He stole money from her. He stole her ADHD medication. He stole her computer. And because he said he didn't do it, she wanted to believe that he didn't. And I didn't know that they were reconnected until the Monday before she was murdered. And once I found out that Monday, when she told me that that she had reconnected with him, we had a little come to Jesus meeting, and I told her to stay away from him. I told her he wasn't good. I said, he lies. He does this. I was just pointing out things he had done in the past. And just because somebody says that they didn't do it doesn't mean that they didn't.
And I know we can all relate to that sometimes, having a loved one who has a friendship with someone you know is not good for that person. You mentioned the lying. What were you worried that she was in danger? Were you worried that something like this would ever happen? And again, what were the things you were seeing that you knew were red flags, that you knew you wanted her to get away from this person?
I just knew from what she had told me about him in the past. And usually spots on a leopard don't change. If he is doing drugs, and he was doing them back then, if he stole from you once, he will do it again. I agree that some people can change. But just from the history, all the times he's had issues with run-ins with the law, and the fact that he always was bailed out of his issues because of the parents and people that he may have known in certain places. But when she told me about him, I never got a good feeling. It was always, it was like it wasn't right. There was something that just wasn't connecting. There was something that made you sick inside. And when you get that feeling, and it's the fact that go with your gut. Don't second guess. Go with your gut. And that's what I was doing. I was going with the feelings that I would get in my gut. from him or from what she told me about him.
We didn't know that she was meeting up with him on that
Mm-mm.
Wednesday.
Oh no, if I would have known, I would have been there. I would have found out where he lived. I would have been there.
And of course, the outcome in the end ultimately was horrific. A Kent County judge calling this one of the worst cases that he's ever worked with. This was a senseless killing, and of course, her body was dismembered as well. These are the details that they'll be profiling in the true crime episode tonight that's airing about Ashley's story. Why did you choose to take part in that show?
I want Ashley's story out there. I know more people know something. I want somebody to come forward and say, this is what I know. This is what I saw.
And of course, Ashley's murderer has been convicted, sentenced to 100 to 200 years behind bars. What are the answers that you're still looking for?
I want to know where the rest of my daughter is. I want her to come home. I want to be able to have Ashley all together. That's what I want. And the other question is why? What did Ashley do that would cause you to take her life? Nobody should be taking anyone's life. This was completely senseless. Even he admitted Ashley did nothing wrong. If Ashley did nothing wrong, why did you kill her? Why did you take her? What was the purpose?
Well, I just want to thank you all again for taking the time to chat with me about this. Again, that episode is airing tonight. It's on Investigation Discovery. The show is called Body in the Basement. And I truly hope that you two do get the answers that you are looking for. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.